Good morning, this is your AI host, Jay. I'm here with the automatically generated Journato morning headlines on June 28, 2022. Netherlands, at least one dead as tornado sweeps through Dutch coastal town. Sky News, tornado kills 1, injures 10 in Netherlands. Reuters.com, residents injured as powerful storm hits southern Dutch city, KION 546. Parisian motorcyclists mourn end of freedoms with introduction of parking charges. The Guardian, Paris to charge riders of gasoline-fueled motorbikes for parking. Sri Lanka stops fuel supply to non-essential services as crisis worsens. Reuters, Sri Lanka halts fuel supplies for private vehicles. Financial Times, Sri Lanka suspends fuel sales for 2 weeks as economic crisis worsens. The Guardian, Sri Lanka shuts school and orders work from home amid fuel shortage. The Independent, Sri Lanka struggling to secure fresh fuel supplies, minister says. U.S. Capitol riots, surprise last-minute hearing announced by committee investigating January 6 riot. Sky News, January 6 hearing, live, Trump lawyer stopped by FBI ahead of surprise testimony by mystery witness. The Independent, Jan. 6 committee schedules surprise hearing for Tuesday afternoon. Bloomberg, Jan. 6 panel announces another hearing for Tuesday. Reuters.com, Jan. 6 panel to hold surprise hearing, present new evidence. UN head declares ocean emergency as global leaders gather in Lisbon. The Guardian, UN Oceans Conference ice steps toward high seas agreement. The Independent, nations egoism delaying treaty to protect oceans, UN chief. Reuters.com, dolphins in Lisbon River show benefits of protecting nature. The Associated Press, en Español, UN chief, national selfishness delaying global oceans deal. A nightmare, British Muslims left stranded by Saudi hajj booking system. The Guardian, Bradford woman paid £19,000 for hajj and her booking failed. Telegraph and Argus, hajj travellers unable to fly due to ticket delay. BBC, British Muslim travel agencies in uproar over Saudi hajj changes. The Guardian, hajj pilgrimage, heartache and confusion for British Muslims left in limbo by new Saudi rules. Boris Johnson News, Live, Tory rebels ready to act, lightening fast to oust PM. The Independent, still in power in 2032, Boris future imagined ×2. The Times, Boris Johnson wants to go on and on, as PM, says George Eustace. Evening Standard, show some backbone, Tory rebel calls on cabinet to move against Boris Johnson. The Independent, Boris Johnson faces backlash over ambition to stay in power until 2030s. COVID News, Live, hospital patients up by 37% as experts warn of fifth wave. The Independent, COVID an inconvenience rather than life-threatening for many now, says WHO. Sky News, fifth wave of COVID has begun, experts warn, with fears for summer disruption. Hull Live, COVID, UK in fifth wave already, as experts warn summer events will see infections surge even higher. The Independent, hospital patients with COVID-19 in England up more than a third in a week. Amtrak derailment, 3 killed in Missouri after train hits truck. BBC, 3 people killed as Amtrak train derails after colliding with lorry in Missouri. Sky News, Amtrak train derails after hitting truck causing multiple fatalities and 50 people hurt. The Mirror, 3 killed, at least 50 injured after Amtrak train traveling from LA to Chicago derails in Missouri. Kuna Noticias y Kuna Radio, Amtrak derailment. Live, at least 3 dead and 50 hurt after train derails in Missouri with 243 on board. Ukraine News, Live, at least 13 dead as Russian missile strikes Kremenchuk mall. The Independent, Russia-Ukraine war, G7 pledges to stand with Ukraine, for as long as it takes as Zelensky calls for air defense help, live. The Guardian, G7 to support Ukraine, as long as it takes as Zelensky reveals strategy for war. Evening Standard, live updates Germany's Scholz, West want torpedo G20. The Independent, Olaf Scholz says world must avoid Putin's trap, and claims of discord. Toxic yellow chlorine explosion at Jordan port kills at least 13 and injures 250. Sky News, toxic gas leak in Jordan leaves 13 dead and hundreds injured. The Guardian, toxic gas leak at port kills 10 and injures hundreds. The Times, toxic gas explosion at Jordan port kills 13 people and injures 250 more. The Independent, 10 killed and 200 injured in Jordan toxic gas explosion. Johnson issues open invitation to Russian scientists, dismayed by Putin's violence. The Guardian, Ukraine war, G7 leaders pledge action on Russia, do we believe them? BBC, Ukraine, Boris Johnson says price of freedom is worth paying, Herald Scotland. Herald Scotland, UK's Boris Johnson, cost of Russian victory in Ukraine is too high. Reuters UK, Johnson welcomes Dunkirk spirit being shown to get grain out of Ukraine. Russia-Ukraine war, rescuers dig for survivors of Kremenchuk shopping center attack amid global outrage, live. The Guardian, Ukraine war, Russian scumbag terrorists condemned by Zelensky after calculated missile strike on shopping center. Sky News, Russia-Ukraine latest news, missile strike on shopping mall branded abominable as death toll rises. The Telegraph, world leaders condemn abominable Russian attack on Ukraine shopping center. The Guardian, Russian missiles hit Kyiv as G7 leaders seek to stay united behind Ukraine. This was all for the news. Thanks for listening. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.